Good morning. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Um, we took the day off yesterday. 100% did not do anything honey related yesterday. But today we are back at it for sure. Back at it. It was a little touch and go this morning. When I got up, the weatherman said it was going to be sunny, and it was very cloudy, looking like rain, and voila, South Carolina weather comes back through. Good morning, Mike. And the weather came through for us today, and so I did get a call this morning from my old job. My old job called me, and not for work, but they did call me saying, "Hey, we need some honey. Can you bring some honey to us?" Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So we jumped in the truck, drove over there, sold not a lot, sold a few jars of honey, and then came back over. And by the time I got back over, the weather had improved. So we set up the table, and of course, it's looking a little peaked, guys. Looking a little peaked right now because of yesterday's day off. What I should have been doing is probably making some things, but I didn't. And then I made a fatal error, and I'll show you guys what it is. So, give you an idea. So, Wednesday, Christmas Eve, I was out here. I had a 3-pound bottle, like that size, of barbecue sauce, and I had 13 bottles of barbecue sauce there. And now I've got 5 bottles of barbecue sauce there. So I sold 8 bottles of barbecue sauce of the 1-pounder and a $25 bottle that was sitting right there, and it's gone. Good sign. I loaded this back up this morning, and since I've sold a strawberry, I've only had one customer here at the table, and it was while I was setting up. They bought a strawberry and a bee pollen and a 1-pounder. I've sold all the way out of the peanut butter and jelly creamed honey. Gone. Just gone. Sold all of them. The hot honey, I thought I had more in my warmer. I only had 1, so I had to put 5 jars in there. And so it has been a growing pains. But Bob, why don't you have more of this creamed honey right here? Well, that's been the other thing. So on Christmas Eve, I was, after coming inside, had a great day on Christmas Eve selling honey. I actually had people come yesterday and knock on the door on Christmas Day for honey, and they got no answer yesterday. I totally unplugged. Probably not a good business move, but I totally unplugged yesterday, and I don't think they can blame me because it was Christmas. But I ordered 6 cases of the glass jars. That's 180 bottles coming in. I've put in an inquiry for a quote from Gamber on 1-pound bottles. I got 3-pound bottles. I'll probably have to find some more pint jars. Well, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys all had great Christmas. And I actually did have a Christmas Eve order. Went out on Christmas Eve, and I had an order that this morning with a pound jar and a jar of peanut butter creamed honey. So if you guys remember from back in the day, my whole refrigerator on my porch, my whole refrigerator was full of these flats of creamed honey. This is it. This is all that's left of my creamed honey in these jars. Everything else is in deli containers. And I've just been consolidating them down, and it is going. It is going very, very well. So there's nothing to complain about other than now. Okay, so while I got you guys all here, suggestions, right? That's what I need. Barbecue sauce is selling really good. So is it selling really good because it's seasonal, or should I make that and keep it on my table year round? That's something I'm contemplating. Any insight you guys might be able to give would be great. Also, where my Christmas candles were sitting, I don't have any candles. So that's the other thing. I did sell our first jar of pollen today that we've sold, and I've sold a half a case, so 6 combs out of the 12 that I got. So I'm probably going to have to get another case of that soon. Honey, I've got about 60 pounds. No, probably more than that. Maybe 80 pounds of honey. 70 to 80 pounds of honey still, as far as liquid honey. But yeah, some of this stuff's got to be renewed. Like, I'm running out of espresso, right? Because I only have 2 left of that. Peanut butter honey in the jar, running low. So as soon as my jars come in, gonna have to get it going. So then it becomes a dividing of my time, right? Scheduling it to batch enough flavors and stuff, not only just to jar them, but to make sure they're ready in time, like where I don't run out. Like if I run out of strawberry, I just go to I've got some in the refrigerator, and get that done. So those are things that I've got to look, and is it something where I start making lip balms? Honestly, like the candles, I liked making the candles, but because they're seasonal, once that season's gone, then I'm either melting them back down or I have to get some other molds and stuff. So definitely costs. I'm just trying to leverage the cost of the goods that I need to sell and the jars and all that to the income, right? Because it's very easy to go out there and say, yep, I'm going to do this, and this, and then spend all the money you've made selling honey doing that. And then you're still at net zero, right? You're always kicking that can down the road. And at what point do you say, okay, this much is profit, this much is what I'm keeping? So those are things that that I'm trying to work out at the moment. But yesterday on Christmas Day here, it was 80 degrees. I think it was the all-time high for Christmas Day here. So we're just, doing some things and sitting here contemplating what to do moving forward. Obviously I got to get bottles. That's the first thing. We got to get the bottles to get that going. So over the next several days, Amazon will be bringing me deliveries. And then making sure you got the flavors and everything you need, right, to make what you got. So that's all stuff that I've got to do. But do I sacrifice a day? Well, at some point, if you don't sacrifice a day of selling, you end up running all the way out, right? And actually, it appears I have a customer stopping right now, if you see him pulling in. So I will hop off of here. I hope you guys have a good day, and we will see you guys again soon. Talk to you later. Bye.